day, everyone. I'm Tom, and I'll be driving this session today.
Hi everyone, my name is Ulrich. I'll be the navigator of the session.
Cool. So, I'll be discussing lesson 26, adding an API to your application. So, what did we cover in this lesson? So, basically, over here, covered organizing your routes with namespacing, creating API endpoints to respond with JSON, making IX requests from your views. That's basically what we're covering here. So basically here, essentially the main thing was just refactoring the URL routes and adding them to this newly created routes directory, right? And creating all of these files, right? Specifically for our URL routings. So over here we have the users, right? The routing for all the users, or basically for the users specifically. And you can see importing the user controller so that these routes can access the user controller functions and use them. As you can see, all these user controller functions. So basically get and post and put request routes that are set here, as well as delete. So that's specifically for all the routings. And when those requests are made to these API endpoints, the specific functions are called for that specific route. So for instance, if you're creating a new user, validate function is called. Know that the validate function is in the users controller.js, and that function basically runs and does what it needs to do. We have routing for our courses. So in course routes.js over here, all the routing for our courses, and it uses the courses controller functions. As you can see, they are called over here in each route. Then routings for subscribers, right? Like creating a subscriber, updating a subscriber's account, accessing a subscriber's account to see the details of that subscriber, the delete function, right, to delete, and so on. So all those routes are set here. But when you realize in each module over here, we basically exporting the basically this specific module so that other files, so that it's accessible to other files, so other files can access this and use these specific routes, right? Specifically controllers, because that's what links with these routes, because they handle these routes. Then we have here, subscriber routes over here, courses routes. Like I said, we have error routes. Basically, middlewares are basically set over here. You can see here, log errors function is used in the error controller. So if I go to error controller, log errors method is used, and it handles that specific route to log the errors that need to be shown. Then respond with no resource found, respond internal error. So these are specifically for errors. Then this is for the home page. Over here you can see this get request route to get the home page, and the index function is called when this get request is made to this API endpoint. So basically, if I go to home controller, you can see here the index method as a response rendering index. And you know that index is set in our EJS views. So over here, and it shows this home page in the front end. Then this is for contact. Get request is made to this contact API endpoint, and then it shows the form to create a new subscriber, and this contact function is called. Yeah. Then in this index.js, we have these routes here. Basically middlewares. So we can see here these URL routes and these functions that are being called. So for instance, for subscribers, right, it's going to use subscriber routes, right, because of this API endpoint. So when you look at subscriber routes, that is basically that's basically set over here. So it's using all of these routes, right? And then here you can see user routes, specifically for users. So that refers to all these routes that need to be used to create a user, to log out from a user's page, to edit a user's or update a user's account and stuff like that. This is for causes, so you can see the cause routes is basically set there for this API endpoint, and these are all the cause routes. Then this is for the home routes. As we explained, here's the home routes, and this is for the error routes that are used over here. And yeah, so that's basically it for chapter or lesson 26. Specifically was just refactoring all of these routes and putting them in the necessary files, and with index.js it uses router.use to use all of those routes that we set over here. So yeah.